The White House making more excuses for their failure on the baby formula shortage. As parents across America struggle to feed their infants, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg is taking the don't blame us route.
The administration acted from day one after the recall, taking steps like creating more flexibility for the WIC program to help rebalance the availability of formula in the states. The government does not make baby formula, nor should it. Companies make formula. And one of those companies, a company which, by the way, seems to have 40% market share, messed up and is unable to confirm that a major plant, is safe and free of contamination.
And the administration contradicting what Biden just said about when the White House first learned of the problem.
If we'd been better mind readers, I guess we could have, but we moved as quickly as the problem became apparent to us.
And FDA has kept me apprised of this from last year. We have been moving as quickly as we can.
We have been working on this since we learned about this back in February. It's important to remember this shortage exists because Abbott closed a facility because of safety concerns from the FDA.
And Abbott and the FDA have entered an agreement to restart that closed baby formula plant in Michigan, but there's no timeline on when it will reopen. Judge, you were talking at the break that you have no interest in talking about this.
This infuriates me because I was on the prowl yesterday looking for formula for my daughter's baby. Yeah. I am so sick of this. Okay.
How do you feel about Mayor Pete? Mayor Pete, come on.
First of all, I want to talk about Karen Jean-Pierre, okay? She said when we first heard about this in February, did she not say that?
Yes, she did.
That was a lie.
Okay.
Because Xavier Becerra said what Health and Human Services said we heard about it last year.
Right.
Now, we know that in September or October was when the whistleblower called, and the FDA heard about it. They say in October, they decided to show up in December or to make an agreement to go there. January, they go there. February, they shut it down. What have you been doing since February? Since February, they decided that they would help people, women, infant, and children, poor people, access the other brands that they might not be able to access, okay? And the border people, they have formula, but the middle class can't get the formula. I know I've been trying to do this. Pete Buttigieg, this is the same guy who made believe he rode to work on a bicycle, except the SUV pulls up, he takes the bike off the back of the SUV, puts on his helmet and rides to work, okay? He's a fool. When he says there is nothing more urgent, I know, he is lying. He is lying because opening up the Abbott plant, which is only being opened up pursuant to a consent decree that has to yet be signed by a judge, is because the country's going crazy. And Geraldo, what you were talking about with suburban women, I'll tell you what, dollars to donuts. You've got suburban women who are fighting with the teachers and the school boards. You've got suburban women who can't get mothers and grandmothers who can't get formula for babies. I'll put them up against the abortion women any day of the week.
Ooh, okay.
Care to respond?
Oh, I think that it is, to me, shocking how conservatives will not blame big oil for the price of gas when they are reaping in record profits. There is such a thing as big baby formula. There are just 3 baby formula companies.
Is that just for big babies?
Abbott's shutdown is a real thing. Now, did the FDA under Becerra as HHS secretary respond quickly enough? I doubt it.
No.
When did they ever? To blame Joe Biden, I don't know. Do you blame him for everything that happens because?
Yeah, he's the president.
Okay. Well, someone screwed this up. Why don't they import more baby formula? That is the secret. They could do it tomorrow. Sweden and England and these countries have just as stringent laws as we do. Let's import the baby formula. What the hell are we waiting for? Why is it?
Dana?
Why is it that we're ignoring the obvious solution?
Okay, so the shutdown is a real thing, but they knew about the shutdown months ago, so then why didn't they do anything until Americans started wanting to put Javier Becerra's face on the milk carton? Where's he been? He's like in witness protection. He's like the only cabinet secretary you never, ever see.
Right.
And he does have a responsibility here. And for President Biden to so snottily say, well, if we were mind readers, that is so insulting because if the administration for once would say, we have to do better on this, and we're on top of it, and we're going to get this agreement done. This consent decree is going to get done. In the meantime, I told the FDA, fix the regulatory thing, get that formula from Europe, get it from Canada. Moms, I hear you. I'm with. There's none of that. There's only blaming Republicans for not fighting against big oil. That is so insulting to the folks there. And I think that when Pete Buttigieg says we're acting since day one, it means that they've actually completely and totally failed. And I do not believe the people who said, oh my gosh, he's so well spoken. He was so, oh wow, he did such a great job in the Sunday shows. Look, he speaks a lot better than someone else we're going to talk about later in this show.
Yeah.
But he said nothing, and they've offered nothing to them. And I think that this is an absolutely atrocious thing. This is the one thing they could have gotten right.
You know, it is kind of disturbing, Jesse. Here's Mayor Pete, right? This is his wheelhouse. And he was a young dad on paternity leave.
Yep.
He should have, and he doesn't lactate, as far as we know. He doesn't. So he's in government. Shouldn't he have been on top of this? I mean, it's almost kind of like he should have known this.
Mayor Pete can't get baby formula in Joe Biden's America.
Yes, thank you.
Mayor Pete is not even blaming Joe Biden.
Yeah.
So stupid. Luckily for me, thank God, Jesse Jr. is a food snob. Because we went through about 3 or 4 different types of baby formula before he finally found the one he liked. He was persnickety, thank goodness. I feel bad for you and all the mothers out there because sometimes it takes a long time to get it right. Pete says the government doesn't make baby formula. The government doesn't make anything. When has that ever stopped the government from getting involved in everything? Geraldo.
Yes, Jesse.
The FDA has to do regulation and oversight. What do the Democrats constantly whine about? More regulation, more government oversight. The one opportunity they had to go in there and do regulation and oversight, they absolutely blew it.
Yep.
Now, this isn't like, oh, there was an outage at the salad fork factory. Okay, you know what? Maybe the FDA doesn't. No, this is baby formula,
The FDA
Geraldo.
moves at a glacial pace under the Trump administration during the vaccine.
FDA was not glacial. They warp speeded the vaccine, Geraldo.
Relatively speaking, but it was a glacial pace.
Okay, so what took them
waiting if they
5 months to get their butts in gear? What took them 5 months, Geraldo? No one can answer the question.
I am not defending them. I am merely saying that to ignore the structure of the baby formula industry is to do a disservice to the audience.
Why doesn't your man Biden drop the import regulation?
That's a good question.
All right, so you don't know either.
That's a good
Basically,
question.
if this had happened under Trump, it would have been, Trump is separating families and now he's starving families.
Import it.
No,
right.
You know what? Look, the CDC made a decision that there was nothing in that plant that contaminated the baby formula. And they made that decision a while ago. So this is just a lot of fake garbage on their part. Not the CDC, but Biden and the other one saying, we just heard about it.
We definitely don't have strong opinions on this. All right, ahead. Pressure building on President Biden to treat fentanyl poisoning deaths the same way he does COVID.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.